Larry, integrating the youth with the veteran core in place. Not everybody can be a $25 million player. The Phillies are leaning in two pretty big spots this year in center field and a high leverage bullpen arm, whatever you want to call him, in Orion Kerkering. Do you expect both these kids to step up because they're being counted on for big roles this year?
Yeah, I do. I think, and Rojas, I thought, a lot of guys didn't hit in the playoffs. They did at certain times, but then when it came to the end, like everybody just kind of tanked. And at the same time, and that was just unfortunate. It's not like they planned to do that or wanted to do that. But Rojas, he really struggled there. And I think he got exposed a little more for his inexperience. But during the season, he did a nice job. The one thing they said this spring, and I saw him, he bulked up a little bit. And I don't know, for me, that creates a little more concern. If it's to get his energy, not his energy level, but it's just his overall everyday level, to get that throughout a 6-month season is one thing. But to do it to try and hit the ball a little further, to me, this is obviously my personal opinion, but he should be bunting every day and doing everything he can to hit the ball on the ground, which goes totally against analytics. But if he's not hitting the ball on the ground, he's not utilizing his biggest asset, and that's his wheels, his speed. And so, I don't know what they're talking to him about, if they want him lifting the ball more or if they're, they don't want him hitting the ball on the ground. It's baffling, but he's got that speed. If he can just utilize it, if he can put the bat on the ball, bunt the ball, hit the top of the ball, if it's not hit right at an infielder, he's got a chance to beat every infield hit out or every ball he hits in the ground. So, I think and he's so valuable in the outfield. To have him in center just makes the world of difference defensively, which as a pitcher is what you want. Kerkering, I think, came up. He doesn't seem to be intimidated by the big leagues, but one of the things it just baffled me is last year he spent the year in the minor leagues, right, until he came up at the end. In the whole year, you know how many times he pitched back-to-back days? Zero.
Insane.
How I just excuse me? I can't wrap my head around that. How they allow that to happen at the minor league level? And so the first time he ever pitched back-to-back days was in the playoffs. And then the other thing I talked to Rob Thompson about, I was like, why is this guy? He's throwing 97, 98 as his fastball. Why is he throwing all sliders? I did it because I didn't have a fastball. I didn't have a choice. I had to try and trick him with something else because my cheese wasn't going to get by anybody. But for him throwing 97, 98 and not using it, I'm like, how does that happen? And then they said that, the analytics people said in the minor leagues, they hit, 118 or whatever it was off his slider. I'm like, yeah. But you know what you just said where he did that? He did that in low A ball, in A ball, in double A. And he had maybe 2 games in triple A, if that. I think it's so important to understand that the minor leagues are vastly different from the major leagues. They just are. I think they're further apart. Triple A from the big leagues is further apart now than it used to be. Whether people believe that or not, I certainly do, because I see guys that excel at Triple A, they get the big leagues, and there's just like, how do you do that down there and he's doing this up here? It's just kind of baffling. But they're both guys, Rojas and Kerkering, I think are going to be big keys to this season. I really do.